Good afternoon, Kamikaze-kun here, and today we're going to be doing a unboxing and review of this controller called the Tribute 64. Now, years ago, a company named Hori made controllers for the Nintendo 64 that were modeled just like this. But unfortunately, they were only released in Japan during the very tail end of the Nintendo 64's lifespan, and they've been known as some of the premier controllers to get if you're going to collect for the Nintendo 64. It's mostly just the way that this is set up. A lot of people actually prefer to play their game this way than to play it the traditional way with the thumbstick right here in the middle. One issue that I've always had with the N64 controller was the thumbstick in general. Sometimes, it can get a bit slippery, and like even this one here, you could kind of see that there's already a bit of plastic dust gathering inside the controller itself, and that's pretty much a fault of the controller and the way it was designed. So what Hori did was they had used a thumbstick almost similar to the one seen on the GameCube. But this company, Retrobit, made these controllers about, I want to say at least 10 months ago, and I had just seen a video based on a review of this controller, and I figured today we're going to unbox this and see what this thing's all about. Really have a lot of shrink wrap on this. Oh, is it inside the box too? Weird. Try to keep the box intact as much as I can. Let's just almost fall right out. So there is the controller itself. You notice there they've got the little Retrobit logo on here. And now what we're going to do is I have a N64 set up right here. I'm going to play 4 different games. All of them have different controller settings. We have, let's see here, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, in which I'll be testing the D-pad of the controller. We have Super Smash Brothers, which uses the thumbstick, and I feel this is a really good game to be able to test the controller on itself. We have Mario 64, again, testing out that thumbstick. And this also has a little slot in the bottom of the controller that the original controller had. So we're going to be testing out the Rumble Pack with my copy of Starfox 64. All right, well, let's get this unhooked. There we go. And right away, like if you have big hands like mine, you're going to notice that your fingers are gonna bump into themselves. And I mean, overall though, it is a very nice feeling controller. It feels very sturdy. Has some really nice grips down here. The buttons feel responsive. And everything is very close together, so you're not reaching like you would be on a Nintendo 64 controller. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not my preferred way to play this system, obviously. So let's get this unhooked and let's play some games. All right, there we go. Let's try Mario 64 first. It's just gonna give me hell.
Hello.
I just want to film myself playing this system.
Let's go.
Yeah, you can definitely feel a difference in the thumbstick for sure. For one, it does not feel nearly as slippery as the original one. It feels a lot more responsive too. Not trying to crap on the original controller, but this does feel light years better than the original. I don't feel like I'm having to reach across the controller just to steer Mario. I think we're just gonna fight the big bomb, and then we're gonna move on to our next game. Sorry about that, folks. Had some technical difficulties, but I ended up changing the power brick in the back, and now it seems like it wants to work. It's kind of the problem with older consoles. Obviously, something's gonna die eventually. I have to give it to them. The precision on this thumbstick is really nice, and it's very responsive. Alright, just killed the Bomb King. Or, in what he said, diffused it. Alright, on to the next game. Now we're gonna try some Starfox 64. Oh, it doesn't feel nearly as off balance as it would on the N64 controller, so I do have to give them that. It does have a, it feels like it does equally distribute the weight, so we'll see how this game works with the Rumble Pack. Really enjoy how the Z button is now a trigger button, which is on here and on this side as well.
Whoa! Help me! Thanks, Fox. I thought they had me.
We're in to an area city now. This is horrible. Everybody stay alert. You got an enemy on your tail. Use the brake. I'll take this one. Get the one behind me. Something's wrong with the G diffuser. Use the boost to take it. I could use some help here, Fox. I guess I should be thankful. Do a barrel roll.
I think I forgot to mention I'm horrible at this game.
Try a somersault.
Enemy robot, dead ahead.
Let's go. All range mode. Ah, so this is Starfox. I'm going to crush you.
Enemy in area.
No! Those who cross Androps will die! My Emperor! I failed you! We're heading out.
All right, that was Starfox 64 on the
You did
Tribute
it.
64.
Worried for a moment.
Not a terrible game. One thing I was a bit concerned with though is the game itself uses the R and the Z button while it completely avoids using the L button, so that does take a little bit of getting used to, but otherwise, not a terrible game on this controller. Now we're gonna play some Super Smash Brothers. Freaking Luigi. Sick move, bro. Down here.
One eternity later.
Okay, that was Super Smash Bros. On the Tribute 64, and I have to say overall, it is a much better experience on this controller, for sure. Now on to our last game, which is Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I will probably die. Of course, novice, because I cannot play Mortal Kombat to save my life. I actually won a match. Trying to figure out his get over here move. Probably won't happen. Damn. Oh, he figured it out, sure. Oh, cool, I won. Well, that is Mortal Kombat on the Tribute 64. And I have to say, the controller does feel a little crowded when playing this game. I was using the D-pad this time, and having my fingers crowded in like that, it wasn't necessarily the most comfortable experience. But it worked, and it was pretty decent. But overall, I do think this is a very good substitute for the original N64 controller. And, I mean, this could be easily had anywhere for around $25. So, with that said, I'm going to end this video. However, I would like to give a few shout-outs to some of my friends here on YouTube. There is Sam from Contagious Collections, Wartrain Wins, Fit to Play Games, and Steve Craig Retro Games. Do please check out all of these channels. These guys make some awesome content. And with that said, thank you again for tuning in. And if you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing, leaving a comment and a like down below. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.